Should we go through the papers with our senior political commentator Nigel Nelson and former government advisor Claire Pearsall? Morning to you both.
Morning, morning.
Nigel, we're starting with the Kensington Palace no longer being a trusted source.
No, this is from the the news agency AFP, who obviously wouldn't run the pictures of Kate. It's a bit extreme, really, saying that the household is now can be compared to North Korea as far as the agency. Well, I agree with you. I think that's going far too far.
Unnecessary.
I mean, the whole point about this is that Kate isn't a professional, but however, that she's got a lot of professional advisors around her. So they're either being incredibly naive when they let this picture go out, or they were being incredibly stupid.
It's only had a little tweak.
Well, we don't know. We never saw the original picture, and this is really the problem. In these days of AI, you can create a completely new picture which looks absolutely genuine.
No, but apparently there is clarification that they were all in the same place, that the picture was taken of them all at the same time.
Right.
Because of reflections in their eyes and things, which they've managed to... So it's not like they've been all just...
No, I mean, if you're doing... Well, I mean, in fact, that's actually that's nothing new that I've known throughout my career, that we've airbrushed pictures out in newspapers, that the wife of a Prime Minister asked me once to airbrush out her double chin. I'm not going to tell you which wife it was.
Oh, go on.
I think it would be unfair on her. But she didn't... The whole point of doing this was that she didn't have a double chin. It was the way the picture was taken that gave her one. So we were manipulating the picture, but in fact making it more real than it would have been if you'd let the original go through.
Yeah, it's just a bit rich for this particular agency to talk in these ways and to say Kensington Palace is no longer a trusted source. Yeah. It's just adding fuel to the fire, isn't it?
It is. I mean, this has been blown out of all proportion. I mean, the photograph is just badly photoshopped. Yeah. And I think that anybody that has a teenager in the household you can learn how to use it, you can do it properly. There have been a few mistakes. It shouldn't have gone out there, and it shouldn't have taken so long for them to admit that it was a manipulated image. But to suggest it's now becoming like North Korea, I think is taking this far too far over one photograph.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I'll tell you what shouldn't be out there. Emily Blunt's dress.
Oh, see, now this is a corker, and it's kind of like that whole thing that money can't buy you style.
No,
because this dress probably would have cost an absolute fortune, and it is a beautiful dress.
Except that the designer has put Y-fronts on it.
Yes. Now, if you remove the Y-fronts, then it looks beautiful. I don't understand why anybody in their right mind would design something that's got a pair of sort of tighty-whities on the front of it.
It's difficult to see from the photographs that we're showing, actually. The one in the Mail shows it much more bluntly.
Yes.
Oh.
But why would
She's here all week, ladies and gentlemen.
But it's an absolutely gorgeous dress, and the designer, Schiaparelli, has just put sequin Y-fronts on the front of it.
But she's been doubling down on social media. Anybody that has gone onto her Instagram page criticising the dress, she's fought back.
Really?
By, saying that this was her design and it was entirely up to her how she did it, and, you know, then sort of personal insults on the people that are questioning her designer. Yeah, I mean, it's caused quite a storm in the sort of fashion Instagram world. But I don't also understand the straps themselves.
Yes, her shoulder straps are standing an inch above her shoulders.
Yeah, and it just sort of looks like one of those plastic sort of Playmobil characters that you slot on an outfit.
Maybe.
Yeah, so
you got a view, Nigel?
Well, I haven't worn Y-fronts since the 1970s, so...
It's made such a fuss, but
they weren't on the outside of your clothing.
No,
it's not Superman. Mind you, what are M&S doing?
M&S, now, I have spent sort of my entire life trying to make my bottom smaller, and M&S are selling a pair of pants that £15 that look like cycling shorts with padded bit in the bottom to give you a larger derriere. Sort of the Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't get my head around that. Why any woman would want to actually look like that is beyond me.
Well, it's the Kardashian behind, isn't it?
It is.
That people have bum lifts.
I mean, I suppose as a positive, then you could say have those and don't have surgery to put implants in and all of that stuff. But I just don't. I don't understand it because, as I say, my generation was always told have a smaller bottom. It's much better.
Yeah.
And what if the padding slips?
Oh,
So
wow.
you'd be wearing a really nice tight dress, and they would slip round, and you'd look like you've got an enormous.
Isn't this
bit
the
on
one
your
to sit
thigh.
down in them?
That'd be comfortable.
Oh, it'd be more.
No, I
comfortable.
don't.
Well, you have your own cushion.
It might,
go
be
and sit
great.
in.
It might be great for these seats. I might buy a pair myself.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Nigel, let's have a look at what our future eco-diet should be.
Yeah, the idea is snakes, actually, snake meat. One of the arguments is that it can be farmed nice and cheaply, easier to raise than chicken and cows. So the question is whether or not you would actually feel like eating snake meat. I mean,
They eat rats, don't they?
they do eat rats, yeah. I mean, there's always... But I think that some of the animals that we do eat eat an awful lot of things that we perhaps wouldn't
Yes.
wouldn't find very sort of appetizing.
Is it any particular sort of snake they're recommending?
No, it's just snakes in general. I mean, I suppose you could sort of, create your own Monty Python pie out of a snake meat.
Well, according to the Sun, you could have corn on the cobra,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
hiss and chips, venom drizzle cake.
Followed by a pint of snake bite.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, apparently this is meant to help the environment because snakes eat less food. They're cold-blooded, so they don't need to eat as much, and they'll sort of survive on one rat a week.
Well, I suppose we eat snails, don't we? And then that's
No,
okay.
Well, you might,
Just-
but
no.
Oh, well, I eat snails.
No, I mean, I just find this bizarre. I think if you offered up a sort of snake curry, people are just going to look at you as if you're mad. A nice, slice of snake on the barbecue in the summer. I'm not getting
Apparently,
any
it
of
tastes
this.
like chicken.
But then they say that about absolutely everything.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, it's all.
I suppose if it were
meant to taste
minced up, so you couldn't see that it's snake.
Yeah, but you'd know it was it'd be on the menu, wouldn't
Snake
it?
mince.
I mean, would you actually go, if you saw it on the menu, would you say, oh, yeah, I must have the snake
No,
tonight?
definitely not.
I fancy a dollop of shepherd's pie.
Made with snake. No, not at all. Yuck.
No, I think it's very odd, but, good for the environment, so maybe Greta will be having it.
Do you think that?
No, go veggie, don't go
Shepherd's python.
Shepherd's python, yes.
yeah,
Excellent.
some says.
Lovely, it's been a joy, you two. Claire,
Always
Nigel,
is.
thank you very much indeed.
But right now it's time for the weather.